Thomas Tuchel is basically forcing Chelsea to go after Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. With 2 flints in front of goal, he thinks he's the solution, and Barcelona are trying to take us for mugs. But guess what? This is Chelsea FC, and nothing ever goes a day without it being interesting, because we don't do nothing boring. £40 million rejected for Gordon from Everton. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, here, and today's video is going to be an insightful one. We've got 3 major topics to get through. Number 1, what's going on with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, how Marcos Alonso ties into it, and we actually know what Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's view is on this whole thing. FYI, it's not great. I'm going to give you all the details you need to know about this, so if anyone gives you some fake information, you're talking nonsense, this isn't true. Kavkas View told me. Gordon from Everton, and this is a young, exciting English player. This player, every time I've seen him, I've been on the edge of my seat. I'm like, he's got bags of talent, raw ability to drive past players, and do everything with pace. And he's linked with Chelsea. Chelsea have had an initial bid rejected, and now are going to go in with a second bid reported by Fabrizio Romano and Sky Sports. And finally, Chelsea got absolutely shagged this weekend. There's no other way of saying it. Chelsea were absolutely robbed, in my opinion, and people are making a big deal about the Conte versus Tuchel thing and how Chelsea's decisions were incorrect. I think we were absolutely robbed, and I'll explain to you in thorough detail, and we will have a nice debate after the fact of what was wrong, what actually happened, and what the refereeing decisions are, and why it's wrong. We're gonna break this down. Let's get into this video. But before we get started, there's always administrative things that you have to do, right? It's the simple way. You like this content, I like producing this content. And this is going to only work if both of us meet our parties. Number 1, I'm gonna entertain you lot. You're already entertained, you stayed this long. Number 2, you're gonna hit that like button because you're already entertained, and we're aiming for 1,000 likes. So if you wanna support the channel, you enjoy the content I produce, I'm not asking for a super thanks, I'm not asking you to donate money, I'm not asking you to do anything. All I want is a subscription from your end and a like button. Then if you want to build this community, in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Hit me up with a DM of questions about football. I respond via voice note. Yes, I respond via voice note. We grow my Instagram community and we have nice debates about football. Sounds great, right? Simple. Like, comment and subscribe. Let's move on. We're going to start with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Aubameyang is a very interesting player because watching Chelsea versus Spurs, a lot of people came away with that as we need Aubameyang, we need Aubameyang, we definitely need Aubameyang. And for me, that is not what I took away from that game. I'm so sorry. I watched the highlights. I took frustration out of that game, don't get me wrong. But from the final end product, we're wasteful. But I asked myself this question, and I want you to ask it. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's in that side instead of Kai Havertz. Do we generate those chances that we create? I don't think so. I think the beauty of having Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, and Sterling is we get the fantastic press, which forces us to win the ball back in deep in their area. Then we get the ingenuity from their mobility and their ability to link up in the final third. I think with time and patience, the productivity will come. I think we just need to go with it for one season where Havertz is the false 9, we've got Mount and Sterling in behind, in and around, and trust me, the numbers will come. Be patient. What's going on with Aubameyang? What's going on with Aubameyang is Chelsea had a £10 million bid rejected, and they're going back in with another bid. Barcelona got the player for free in January, yet they have the audacity to be asking for more money. They want somewhere between 20 and 25 million euros for this player. That's roughly around about 15 to 18 million pounds. Whether this deal is going to happen, Matt Law is adamant Chelsea are going to go in with a second bid. He is adamant that Thomas Tuchel is pushing for this player, and this is something I believe. Thomas Tuchel coached this player in the past, and this player absolutely was amazing for him. Yet, now it's time to see whether we can bring him to the bridge. Would I be totally against it? No, I wouldn't, but I would be upset because I believe what we have in-house at the moment is more than good enough to reap the rewards. I think with Broja and Havertz as the 9, Mount and Sterling as the options on the wide, and potentially, if it was up to me, I would have Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech, and I would be happy for the rest of the season, and we'll see how it pans out. But it looks like Chelsea want to let Hudson-Odoi go on loan. It looks like there is interest in Pulisic and Ziyech. So players are going to be leaving. Who we're going to replace it with? I have no idea, I'll be honest. Quick update on Marcos Alonso. It looks like Marcos Alonso is set to join Barcelona for a fee around about between 5 and 7 million euros. This is fantastic business for both entities. Entity number one being the Alonso family. They get to go back to Spain. They get to be in their country. They get to play for one of the best teams in Spain of all time. And he gets to fulfill his dream most probably for playing for Barcelona. So this is phenomenal for him. And it's fantastic for Chelsea because Alonso for a long time has been, in my opinion, Chelsea's Achilles heel. Whilst you're going to get the occasional great goal and whilst you get him contributing to a title win under Conte, I feel like Alonso was very, very lackluster. His tenure at Chelsea will always be a negative in my eyes. A lot of people will take it as a positive. He really frustrated me on multiple occasions. Remember, I have an issue when defenders can't defend. I'm sorry. Like, I need my fullbacks to be able to defend first, then go forward. And sadly, Marcos Alonso has never been able to do that. So I'm happy he's moving on. And this is a great deal for both parties, like I said. So when people say Chelsea don't have a transfer plan, I always get defensive. But today I can't get defensive. Anthony Gordon from Everton, right? We just draw 2-2 and all of a sudden I see Chelsea have a bid rejected for Anthony Gordon. I'm like, what on earth is going on? So it's reported Chelsea want Anthony Gordon and they had a first initial bid rejected. I'm like, okay, no, they're not going to go in again, are they? They're going in again. And apparently Everton wants somewhere near £50 million. 50 million big ones to get Anthony Gordon to Chelsea. And where is he going to play? I have no idea. I'll give you the breakdown in a second. But the rumor is it's going to be for 25 million up front. And then they're going to have some add-ons, you know, one of those decorative fees that you do on FM to try and get the kid to Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard, surely he's not going to let the kid go because I've been watching Everton recently and they look toothless. Literally, they look absolutely boring to watch. They have no enthusiasm, no hope. They need a number 9. Like, they need to either have Calvert-Lewin fit or they need to acquire someone. Because at this moment in time, they've got no vocal point. It looks boring. It looks predictable. They've got 3 forwards that are very versatile, that are full of energy, full of legs, yet they don't keep the ball long enough to get the ball up to them in the final third. So they look absolutely pwned. Like, they look absolutely trash. But they're better players than that. Damari Gray, Anthony Gordon are very good footballers. And I think it's not doing them a justice playing that system. Anthony Gordon to Chelsea does look weird. It doesn't seem like the kind of transfer that Chelsea normally. But Thomas Tuchel apparently wants him for the wing-back position. Anthony Gordon is very good at carrying ball. He's very good at dribbling past players. He's very good at selecting the final pass. And it's something that can develop at the age of 21. And looking at it, it makes sense. The transfer fee looks very heavy. However, it's one that can evolve with time to become fantastic. When Liverpool signed Mane, everyone looked at it funny. When Liverpool went and signed Van Dijk for 70 million, everyone looked at it funny. And once again, this could be one of those situations. The player could develop to become a star. But at this moment in time, we have no idea and we are just going to have to wait and see because he's going to be an understudy for Reece James if he comes in. No chance he plays in front for him. I'm going to have to talk about something that really irritates me. Look, any of you that watch my channel, you know I am not the type of guy that blames referees for results. I never ever get caught up in this frenzy of Anthony Taylor is a terrible referee. We're going to lose because of the ref. And my favorite line is, a game is 90 minutes long. If one referee decision costs you the game, boy, what on earth were you doing for the other 90 minutes? Like, the players are on the pitch playing. Don't give the ref an opportunity to mess it up for you. But in this situation, the hair pull was ridiculous. And the explanation that I heard on ESPN FC, I really hope this isn't true because it would infuriate me more. Apparently, it's not written in the book that a hair pull is a straight red card. It's a yellow card offense. And the fact that Cucurella had a hold of him as well, it's 50 of one and 50 of the other. So altogether, there's no foul. It's just play on. And the offside goal, they're saying he's not impairing the vision of Edouard Mendy. And Mendy didn't complain, so they didn't think they had to obstruct it. But the interesting thing is now is Thomas Tuchel's coming out, and Thomas Tuchel came out on smoke. He openly basically called Anthony Taylor biased. He said that the team actively worry when he's the manager. The ref, sorry, and they actively think the guy's got an agenda against them, that this has happened on multiple occasions. And when you start adding up the storyline, I can see why the team feel that. I don't like that he said it out loud, but I can see it. Michy Batshuayi gets kicked into the men's genitalia area by Harry Maguire, nothing happened. Kovacic wins the ball, gets a red card instead for that challenge. Then last year around, Maguire has Aspi in a bear hug, no penalty. This time around, Richarlison's in an offside position and the goal still stands. Cucurella gets pulled like a bad bee. Next thing you know, nothing happens. When there's so many things that happen in such a short span of time, you can openly see that players, managers, fans will get rattled and aggravated. Do I think he's bad? No. I don't think what he's doing is intentional. I just think he's a bad referee. And that's just my opinion. I don't think his refereeing skills are up to par. But here, the issue isn't just him. The issue is the VAR. Like, how can somebody watch the VAR and deem grabbing someone's hair and throwing them onto the floor as not a consequence of a red card? Does not give the consequence of someone being sent off and a free kick to the other team. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense now, like Party Next Door would say. Literally, I'm confused. And Tuchel looks like he's going to be under investigation for his comments because some of them were too aggressive, and he will face a fine. And I think he'll take that 50k or 100k on the chin. He earns a multi-million-pound contract, does not care. He'll eat that money because it doesn't matter. He'll take it on the chin. But it's just frustrating that he's going to be suspended for a few games, and as will Antonio Conte, because of their little scrap on the side. I don't think there should have been any red card. I love to see it. I think we all love to see it. We're all fans. We're all passionate. Managers are just as passionate as their boys on the pitch. So we shouldn't try to erase that from the game. We should encourage it. I love to see that kind of stuff. As long as they don't start throwing punches at each other and start being stupid. Bunch of guys on the pitch, passionate about their team and want them to be successful. I don't see an issue with that. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you lot all enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts on Anthony Gordon being linked with Chelsea. Let me know about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Do you actually think he is the solution? And finally, do you think Anthony Taylor is the issue, or are we just creating this narrative just to have an us versus them like surge? But this was the Kavkas View. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.